think we might need to put a don't try this at home sticker over the no guard face.
Yes, yes. Don't try this at home, guys.
Giveaway for a space on our 1 week course from the 12th of July until the 16th of July. I'm sorry, it's June. It's June.
It is.
Use that as a blooper maybe. Guys, welcome back to the weekly installment of our YouTube series. My name is Glenn McGoldrick.
And my name is Patrick Brown.
Lovely. So guys, last week we announced we were doing a little competition. We'll be giving away one space to a lucky winner on our 1 week course from the 12th till the 16th of June at our academy here in Dublin. All you had to do was like, comment and subscribe on the last video. So we're going to leave the competition open again on this video if you haven't entered already, or if you're really generous and want to enter again just to help us out on the Google algorithm. Please guys, do like and comment this video as well, because we really want to give it away to someone special to come and see us on the 1 week course this summer. So guys, this week's video was on the last installment of our 6-month program this Sunday. Basically, we covered some really short salon contemporary hairstyles. I worked on a really cool skin taper on some kind of afro Caribbean hair. And I really enjoyed this haircut. I think you guys are getting a lot of value from it. We worked with a really classic square shape through the top where the hair was quite curly and condensed. And we finished that off with a really cool skin taper and a shape up to match.
Cool, and on my model this week, guys, the feedback that we had from the students on our last course, as Glenn says, is that they really wanted to see some techniques that they could take right back to the shop floor and get cracking with them straight away. So what I focused on was the idea of a really short, sharp haircut with some clip work mixed in there as well. And on my model this week, we addressed an age-old question that is, what is the difference between taking a haircut super short, super finger tight versus actually buzzing it? What is the difference between the two? So watch the video and you'll find out how we get on when we address that question. Also, what I'll be demonstrating is the idea of a no guard skin fade. So stay tuned and tell me what you think.
Anyway, guys, enjoy this week's video. Hopefully you gain some value and we'll see you next week. Today guys, what we're going to do is just cut it into a really nice standard square shape with a really clean skin taper, and that way then he can go whichever way he pleases from there, okay? But basically, if we look right now where we're at, we've got quite a lot of weight internally through here, okay? It's quite bulky through the back and through the corners. What we're ultimately going to do is slim all of this internal shape down nice and square, so it's quite compact, okay? Once we've slimmed this shape down and everything is nice and compact and nice and square, we're then going to add really nice skin taper to the sideburns and the nape, okay, because I think the contrast of the skin with this hair type and the hair colour always really pops, okay? It's a really nice haircut to do. So we suggested that the Colin was quite happy with that, and then if he still wants to do a mullet, then it's much easier then for us to go, okay, just don't taper for a few weeks and allow the bottom panel to grow in, and we continue to slim this in, okay? So how are we going to do this, guys, is the question. Well, generally speaking, when the hair is this curly, I would use minimal scissors, if any, to be honest. I'd do it all with the clippers. So freehanding all of this in with a 2 or a 3, and building the graduation with the actual clipper as opposed to building it with the scissors, okay? Reason being, guys, is trying to create clean cutting lines on hair when it's so curly like that just doesn't make sense, okay? It's making their job a lot harder. Using the clippers and working with the clippers in the direction that the hair is moving is a very simple way to affect the shape of the hair when it's curly and for it to stay in that shape, okay? So, you know, we don't need to go and scissor over comb anything. When we put the number 2 in and we work with the direction that the hair is moving in, the shape is just there. It's quite apparent and quite strong, okay? I'm just going to watch that shape lay into the hair with the number 2. And this way I can see the shape being built as I'm building it, okay? I'm just going to go with the grain here the whole way. All the way until we come into the front. Now at the front, we want to obviously step around and have a little look at this from the side now, because our profile has changed. We've worked from the back through to the side. And then I'm going to come up underneath it after I've went with the grain to remove any of that excess. Before I start to do anything on every single side. So we're going to bring the guide line in, okay, about halfway up the temple. The paper's going to be balanced on both sides. Taper. So when I'm doing something like this where there's a lot of emphasis being put on the shape up and the taper, I often like to get my shape up in first. Reason being is that I don't want to potentially get to the point where I'm doing the shape up and realise that actually I've not left enough weight on the hairline due to taking it, you know, too high or whatever it might be. The one open. .5. And 0. And just get my base in with the one open. And then the 0.5 just underneath that.
Later stage. Guys, what we want to showcase to you today is what we'd refer to as really two cool salon friendly trims, okay? Because like we were saying at the start, Glenn mentioned that we actually had quite a lot of long mid-length hair, and that's quite nice if you're doing a lot of long mid-length hair. But we're very well aware that everyone's going to go back to the shed, the shop, the salons after this, yeah, this week. Paddy's week, going to be a busy week, undoubtedly, no doubt about that. So probably going to have a lot of fades, a lot of two back and sides, a lot of 1 to 2s, a lot of tapers and so on and so forth. So we wanted to showcase something of that kind for you guys today. Okay, and so on my model Keith, my good friend Keith, some of you might have seen him on Instagram, quite famous, but quite nice, so please do feel free to say hi at some stage, yeah? What I'm going to do today, guys, is a really short round layer on the top, okay? Now, some people might ask, because this is so short on the top, why would you not just run maybe a number 3 on the top or a number 4? And the reason for that is very, very simple. Unfortunately, guys, if I run a bare blade like a number 2 or number 3, what that will do, completely remove all the length and weight from the top right down to that guard that I'm setting on, i.e. a number 2, 3, 4, etc. Yeah. Whereas what we discovered when we had our layering day is that by way of layering, what I can actually do is remove the length, okay, remove the weight, to distribute the length and therefore create shape. Okay, so by way of layering, what I can still do is actually control the length that I remove and therefore distribute it to actually give me some nicer shape on the top. Whereas unfortunately, if I go straight in with the number 3, all that is gone. Okay, I can no longer create any dimension of shape on the top whatsoever. Now, depending on why would I do that, as opposed to maybe run a blade over the top, is basically down to your own personal preference and your own personal perception. We do know the expression, whatever way the hair flows is the way the section goes. But in this instance here, guys, a case can be made, it can flow many ways. Ideally, primarily it's moving forward, yeah, or back to front. You can also move from side to side. So what we can do is go from classic vertical section to something more diagonal. Okay, the reason for that is this. If we cut the left-hand side nice and diagonal, what it can do then is cause the two sections to actually interlock in the middle. Alright? If I cut it purely horizontally like this, if I cut it so short, what will happen then, you'll actually see the scissor marks in the hair, like little train tracks running side to side. Okay, and then that's tricky then because the hair is so short, it's quite hard to work back from that. Whereas if I work diagonally, what will happen, all my cut lines will meet in the middle. And if I need to refine or blend anything out, I actually have the freedom to do it at the end, because they're not as harsh as if I was cut purely horizontal. Okay, and you'll see the difference. All I've done here, guys, on the left is work everything nice and diagonal to the middle, from front to back. Why front? Because I can control the length from the front. If I work at the back and unfortunately take it too short, I have to go with that then. I have to go with that guide all the way into the front. What I'm going to do is work on just getting that guideline on in first. Spend a little minute or so putting that guideline on in and keeping it the same distance the whole way around the head. And I'm just very visually, naturally blending it on in. And with the 1, back in with the 0.5, and the 0. Just blemishing the 0 into the 0.5, is then that transition to happen, yeah? Right on up to meet it. Bring it right on, up, through and off. It's a little bit of graduation that we have here, even if you want to call it that. Just that first corner.
I'll do a quick take on there. David.
Okay, there's a 0.5. And 0. Once again. Okay. Nearly done.
Oh, alright.
Back.